Thank you for such a quick answer, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding the hearing.
Ladies, time has expired. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Collins, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Haaland, it's good to see you here today. Your written testimony highlights the facts that the department is the steward of 20% of America's land, and in that capacity serves critical roles for the nation, including generating jobs, supporting local economic growth, and managing important national and cultural resources. Now, as a business owner myself, I like to think of your budget kind of like as a Bible. I think it speaks volumes about your values, you know, the good, the bad, and even the ugly. And while it may not always be pretty to look at how we prioritize our spending, I do think it says a lot about who we are. And in any budget, just like in any business, there will be things that we agree on and things that we don't. And that's okay. But frankly, as part of my job here, both in traveling across my district and across this country, as part of this committee, I get the privilege, much like you, of listening to people and hearing what is working, what they like, and a lot more times what they don't like. So in your budget, I'm also seeing some things that are concerning. Your written testimony also devotes a significant amount of space to promoting equity, diversity, and inclusion. And this is both for underserved communities and employees at the department as part of its ongoing equity action plan. The department's budget calls for a number of program budget increases among various bureaus to achieve its goal related to the equity action plan, which is, my understanding, just was recently updated. To start, Madam Secretary, I would like to clarify, just a simple yes or no will be good. The department does require its employees to abide by all federal laws regarding equal employment, civil rights, and anti-discrimination practices, correct?
Yes, we follow all the laws, Congressman.
Okay, good. We got that straight. So the mission of the department is to protect and manage the nation's natural resources and cultural heritage, provides scientific and other information about these resources, and honors its trust, responsibilities, or special commitments to American Indians, Alaska Natives, Native Hawaiians, and affiliated island communities. Now, I don't see anything in the mission statement about DEI or even environmental justice, which I know you're going to tell me is a direct order from President Biden because of his executive order. But let's get back to the budget, because to me, that's where the rubber meets the road. We need to be talking about priorities here. At the same time, you're endorsing a budget that asks for millions of dollars to require staff to do more DEI training. You'll also sign off on a blanket lease to house migrants on parkland in New York City and not worry about the impact that could have on the park employees there. Am I correct with that?
Congressman, you are correct that there is a contract
Thank you.
between...
And just for the record, the community surrounding the Floyd benefit field area using CEQ's own screening tool has a number of both environmental and social justice issues, none of which seemed to be a concern for the department in practice when it came to waiving environmental standards and signing a lease. You know, instead of increasing programming for DEI classes for staff, while at the same time complaining that you need more money to hire staff, there are times in life when we need to figure out how to prioritize. And Madam Secretary, I say that because of this. We're in high inflation right now. As a matter of fact, we're going to stagflation. And your department is directly responsible for not issuing leases for offshore drilling right now. And that can provide 15% of the oil that's needed. You're also dragging your feet on LNG permits to the point where the DOE had to pause LNG. So you're not only harming Americans, you're harming our allies. And you're also emboldening Russia, who is our enemy, who is going to be selling that LNG to Europe. And you're also emboldening Iran, which was held to 400,000 barrels a day, and now they're producing over 3 million barrels a day to sell it, where we should be doing that and have our own energy independent. With that, I don't think I have time to yield to you, Mr. I'll yield 30 seconds.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, what percentage of the Biden administration's policies are responsible for the record gas and oil development that you mentioned earlier?
I'm not sure I understand the exact question.
How many oil
Congressman.
and gas leases will be held in the Gulf of Mexico fiscal year 24, 25?
There will be 3.
3. Do you think that's adequate?
Congressman, we're following the law, and I will just say, we're following the law, and we're having 3.
Would the
I yield
gentleman
that.
yield?
Yield.
You didn't issue any, you're not planning on issuing any this year.
Point of
You
order,
didn't-
Mr. Chairman, there's no time to yield. Who are we yielding? What's going on here?
I've been gracious with people's times. I'll keep that in mind when you go, Mr. Huffman.
I counted the
gentleman-
56 extra
You're
seconds.
gentleman
being
took his law.
sued because you didn't issue leases now. And we had a hearing here earlier to where somebody representing you said that they weren't going to reissue any leases this year, and probably not next year as well.
The gentleman's time has
With
expired.
that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
That question can hopefully be answered for the record. Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from California, Ms. Porter, for 5 minutes.